Today I will be reviewing the Pokeball Plus and why I think it is worth it. Some people may argue that it's kind of pricey for just basically a Joy-Con, but you have to look at all the features that come with it. Now, I opted for the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Edition, which is $9.99 before tax. Now think about the game being $63.59 after tax, and then the Pokeball being $49.99 after tax. You're essentially only saving $10, but I cannot lie to you, playing Pokemon on the Switch without the Joy-Con is really weird. The only times I play it with the actual Joy-Con controllers is when I have the Switch ball on me, like when I'm still taking my Pokemon on a stroll. I think it is beyond worth it. Like, this is revolutionary. I haven't really played Pokemon on portable. I've been playing it mainly docked, and that's why this controller works really well docked, because you're just sitting there relaxing and all you're doing is this, and then you can play with your Pokemon. Bam! Not to mention it feels really realistic throwing a Pokeball going like that. It's pretty great. I keep my Switch docked mainly, and if I'm not docked, then usually my Switch is on this thing, on a little kickstand. So if I'm playing on the go, then I'll leave it somewhere and then I'll just play with it like that. At least that's what I did for the release of it, because I wasn't home. I was at a hotel with some friends, so I was playing it there, and then I was playing at my friend's house afterwards, so I had it there on my stand too. And then once I got home, I had it docked. Now, what I absolutely love about this is I take this with me everywhere I go except the gym. I take this with me to class. I take this with me to work. I work at a dog kennel, so I'm constantly walking back and forth. I'm racking up like a ton of steps. Like, let me go ahead and tell you right now. So I keep my Pokeball on me to help me level up on my way there. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, I had to walk 35,224 steps. Friday, I walked 29,330 steps. Saturday, I walked 24,522 steps. Sunday, I walked 18,897 steps. Monday, I walked 24,789 steps. Like, I walk a lot of steps at work, so I figured I might as well take this with me at work. And I level up. I am just flying through my Pokedex, leveling up all my Pokemon, like, using this thing. And I don't even have to, and I haven't had time to play, but I have time to get home, switch a Pokemon out, and take a different Pokemon for a stroll. And it's just like, it is amazing, And people ask me at work, they're like, oh, what is that? And then I tell them it's a Pokeball, and I love that I can just turn it on and tell them, like, they can hear the Pokemon. Right now it's a Grimer, and it's probably evolved out of Muck, because most of the time I'm literally just playing with this at work or during school, or if I'm sitting in class I'm just doing this. When I'm walking at work, I just make sure it's turned on, so I just give it a little quick butt. I keep it on mute for the most part because I don't want this going off, and it probably saves battery, because this thing lasts me the entire 11-hour shift and does not die on me. And then when I get home, I charge it overnight, and then I take it with me everywhere. But I take it everywhere, and it's become an accessory. And I think it's really cool because it's the next step to Pokemon. It's like the Pokeball thing they had for Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold. I never had, so I never used it, and I didn't use the Pokemon, like the Pokeball that came with the Pokeball, with the Pokemon Go, where you could kind of have it on your wrists and stuff. I like this because I can play with it, I can do this, I can do that. Usually I swing it back and forth if I'm doing nothing, just bored. I can be watching TV, and it kills time, I can do whatever. And taking my dog on a walk, I got this thing here, so you can just grab any carabiner. But I have a little clip. It's very useful for work. Let me see if I can focus it here a bit. It's very useful for work, at least for me. And it does wonders. I just hook it to my pants, make sure it's turned on, and then just walking into work, it's catching experience points, as you can hear it. Obviously I keep it on mute, but if I'm walking through work and I notice it's not turned on, I just hold it on, press it on, then keep walking. Sometimes I'm walking doing this, sometimes I do this, and gaining experience through that, and your Pokemon level up like crazy. So it's totally worth it in my opinion. And it's really cool to think that I can just take Pokemon with me on the go. Like yesterday I went to the mall and I swapped out my Pokemon. I evolved my Weedle into a Beedrill, you know, obviously Kakuna first, and then Beedrill, and then I evolved my Oddish into a Gloom, and then gave it a Leaf Stone, evolved it. Same thing with my Poliwag and Poliwhirl, evolved it with the Water Stone. I did everything. Right now I'm gonna have Grimer in here, and I'm pretty sure it's at a Muck by now. I evolved Vulpix into Ninetales the other day. I evolved Ponyta into Rapidash. I'm literally just, I already maxed out my team. We're then maxed out. They're all like at level 40, but I'm only on the 4th gym, so I'm not too behind the Elite Four, you know. So when it comes to the Elite Four, I'll make sure to be taking my Pokemon on the go. Joy, don't bug K. And it's so worth $100 to me because Joy-Con controllers are worth like what, $70 for like 2 controllers. So for $50, that's a little less than the price. That's less than the price of a PS4 controller or an Xbox One controller, and you don't get all the features of taking the Pokeball on the go. And not to mention, I opted out for the $3 GPG protection for this from GameStop. So if anything happens to this Pokeball, because this gets dirty at work, like this Pokeball has surprisingly stayed clean a little bit now, but it was getting dirty. Like I had fingerprints on this. I work with dogs, so all the time dogs trying to bite this thing, and I'm like, don't break my toy, please. But if this were to break, I'm covered by protections. I can get this entire thing replaced, both the game and the controller. So I would really recommend that. It's only like $3 and it replaces everything for like a year. So do that with GameStop. One big thing from GameStop. It's super worth it. Yeah. If I take my dog hiking to the park, I can take this with me, and we walk a lot. We walk for like 30-45 minutes, and next thing you know, my Pokemon's got 39,000 plus experience points. That's why I think it's worth it. If this was a $70 controller, I wouldn't do it. If it was like at a $50 price range, it's not that bad. I probably wouldn't buy this controller on its own on top of the game, but because they were bundled together for $100, that's like the majority of like your video game bundles, you know. That's like saying that's like as much as the Super Smash Bros. Bundle was with the game and the controller and the adapter. I'm pretty sure that ran at $100 on launch day, and that's beyond worth it. So if this price was worth it, I think this price would be worth it. I'm getting so much use out of this Pokeball, and I went the day right after launch. I went to go buy Detroit for PS4 because it was on sale, and I upgraded to the I upgraded my PS4 to the 1TB PS4 with the Spider-Man edition. And one of the GameStop employees had his Pokeball there hoisted, and then this dude at my cinematography class also had his Pokeball hoisted. So it's just like when you see people with their Pokeball, you're just like, oh cool, like what Pokemon you got in there? And it's kind of like the Pokemon Go thing where you were walking around and you would talk to strangers, and people were like, oh, are you Team Mystic, Team Instinct? And then you guys would be like, oh, there's a cool Pokemon down there, or like, you know, you talk to people about Pokemon, and that's how it is in Pokemon games. You know, someone's like, I don't like the way you're looking at me, let's battle. And obviously right now you can't battle with these things, but if you have your Switch in your backpack, there's a chance that you bump into someone, and it's like, yeah, you want to have a quick battle because you see him with a Pokeball, and it's kind of like an indication, and it's really nerdy, and I love it. Like, I love walking around with this thing hoisted. If it's just on me, you know, I just walk with it, and it feels cool. I feel like a Pokemon trainer almost, you know. It's that next step, and people ask, you know, like I said, what Pokeball do you have in there? What is that thing? And they can tell them, oh, it's the new Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and I explain to them that I can take the Pokemon with me on the go, and they're always like, oh, that's neat, or that's cool, you know. Like, it's a really cool feature. I think it's beyond worth the money. Like I said, if you haven't already bought the game, I highly recommend buying the edition with the game and the controller, because it's just that much cooler. If you bought the game alone, I would still recommend buying the controller, though I feel like just the $10 difference makes it seem pricier. Buying the game, dropping $60 and then dropping 50 bucks instead of just dropping 100 at a time doesn't seem as much. But I mean, I think it's beyond worth it, and I'll show you some footage of me taking this thing on the go. It's really cool, so I'd recommend it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.